You remember I told you to join Scanad, Lona Irungu called me.
Yes.
The reason why she called me is because a few months before, Lona Irungu was doing some work for Motorola, who was sponsoring a Channel O program that there was something about doing, there was a gig that used to happen in Nairobi. I'm trying to remember what the name of the gig was, but it was a Channel O gig that required in Nairobi to have a performance by an artist recorded, and it ends up on the Channel O TV, yes, whatever. So Lona Irungu was in charge of managing that. Now that whole thing had been sponsored by Motorola. So Lona called me to help her manage the artists. Because see, I had now that reputation for I know how to work with artists. So she called me and told me, so I give you my list of artists and you manage them. You call them, agree with them, make sure they are here, nini. And I think it ran for like maybe 8 weeks or so. So while we were doing that, Pinye was also involved. So Pinye was supposed to be, I think Pinye was the standard DJ for all of them.
So live, it was backing track.
So I was working a lot with Pinye at that time. Then I think Lona mentioned something about Motorola wanting to do something more. Then at that time, Pinye and I had started, hey, you've taken me back, thank you. Before this, I approached Pinye. I think 2005 or 4. I approached Pinye and I told Pinye, you see that show that you have, The Beat? I did for him a proposal that was influenced heavily by what I'd been reading. Where?
The Source
magazine. So I wrote for Pinye a proposal. The Beat Video Music Awards.
Ooh.
Ooh. I wrote for Pinye that proposal. We discussed it. We even went to Nation. We started planning. Nini.
No way.
But every time we were about to do something, the management at Nation changed. So we always had to start again. We had to start again. So as we were talking about that, one of the ideas that we had talked about was like, can we do a song? It's like an industry song, but just put different people together. So when Lona mentioned that Motorola are doing something, or they're looking to do something, we thought of that. So then we quickly crafted an idea, Then we even started thinking of the artists to use. So we came up with a list of artists. Then we approached Lona. But when we approached Lona, we were 50-50. When we spoke to Lona about it, Lona took us to 100. As in, have you ever told someone an idea, then they ran with it like it was their original idea, and not in a bad way. It's because they're excited, they can see it, So Lona took it to 100. The next day, Lona tells us, so Motorola want a budget. Mazi, yani, us guys had just thought of the idea and the artist to work with. We haven't even talked to them. We started, but it was an easy conversation. Started talking to them, So we put everyone together. We had a sit down someday. We took them through the idea. Then I can't remember how the songwriting especially was done, but it's like what we told them was the idea we gave them was there's Palm and then there's Karma. Remember Karma?
Yeah, I remember Karma.
So the idea was these two chicks are pals. This chick is being catiwad by someone and her pal is just trying to tell her to be careful. So we want that female perspective, but now let's get different male perspectives. Like how they would advise her. So that was the basis.
Yeah.
Now, the the challenge, but was a fun challenge, was let's see how to fit Motorola into it. So we started now recording the song. So there's a guy, I think he was called Bruce. He passed on like maybe 2 years ago. He used to work for Ted Josiah. At this time, I think Bruno. Ted Josiah, I think, had left the country, but he had left the studio open. So Bruno used to operate at the studio. So Bruno helped us record the song, but he was more about recording the vocals.
Yes. He was a sound engineer.
Yeah. So the track, he had just done something basic to shikilia. Now, so that you know, again, back to that conversation of difference between producers and beat makers. When your artist goes out to do something else, you care about how he sounds elsewhere. Because if he sounds bad, it can affect what you're doing. So because Jua Cali was there, Clemo said, I want to hear what you guys have done. But it was normal for us.
Yeah.
It's quality control, but also it's industry.
Yep.
So we took it to him.
But unakumbuka hiyo ngoma? Ulikuwa we nameless,
nakumbuka. Usimpe. Iko na story yake pia hiyo.
Hebu we story hiyo was one. You have to tell us, but nani mwingine atatuambia.
Sasa hiyo song ndio alikama up na idea. Anaitwa The Pine. Unaona pia which na big up sana. Unaona cause alikuwa anataka pia kushow. Waje pia ni important sana as much as mafans wanaweza imagine sisi ni mabeste. Wakituona kwa song moja get excited.
Also ni Pinya alikama up na hiyo concept.
Pinya alikama up na hiyo concept. Ataanza kumbuka verse yangu nikirecord nilikuwa nimetoka Arusha. Nilikuwa nimechoka. So tukaenda hata nimesahau ilikuwa studio gani jo.
Na hiyo version nani aliproduce?
Sasa ndio sinakupigia story.
Okay sawa. Pole.
Pigia story. Hiyo verse nilitoka Arusha. Nilikuwa TZ nikakuja nikarecord. Nilikuwa late. Hiyo kina bass kina nani walikuwa hapo. Wasipa walikuwa sha record mavasi zao. So mimi nikika verse yangu ya mwisho. Nameless kuna kina Nameless. So adhani Musyoka aliambiwa amake version yake.
Were you part of the project that recorded that song Palm?
I did a version of that project.
You know the song I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one for Clemo. It was a Motorola commission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wapi.
Yeah. Fakii, that was Fakii's deal. So we submitted several demos. I mean, I submitted mine, but mine didn't make it. Okay. So they went with Clemo's. I have a version of that song.
Alafu na producer wa Ted nadhani alipass. Bruno. Bruno pia alipewa pia make version yake. Alafu
in fact watch ni shock. Bruno studio yake ilikuwa pali tuko sahi. Before this hotel was put up.
Yes.
Bruno alikuwa anafanya Lord Records. Na ilikuwa hapa. Pali tuko.
Mali tuko hapa.
Emory Hotel So walibomoa hiyo studio wakaweka hii wakaweka hii.
Jipia studio Bruno mimi nilisikia baadaye mimi hata sikuwa najua. Mimi nilikuwa nashinda huko jamaa alipotea wapi.
Pole mimi niko na story hivi.
Pia bado ni sawa tu. Unaona so pia kina Ted
walifanya
version yao. Sasa tukamake pia yetu Calif. Sasa tukasikia nadhani tulisikia Bruno. Ilikuwa size yake. Unaona so kulikuwa na debate. Mimi nikatoa noma. Mimi sitoagi noma, but nikatoa noma. Kwambia jamaa hii ndio inaenda. Baba jamaa alikuwa shindo. Ni nje jamaa vipi? Niambia ni story ya Clemo manini. Hii song ndio song no, hii ndio noma. Hii ndio inaenda. Unaona hiyo ndio version ilitokaga. Hiyo version yetu. Hiyo ndio ilitoka.
Clemo was like, "In your track mnataka kutumia?" So I think he saw from Pinye and I, our faces, we were, you know, we're not sure. I think for us, we were more excited about
the project.
Getting these 7 people together, doing a song together, and the lyrics sounded so good. Then Clemo told us, nipatie ka 2 days. Let me tell you, when Clemo called us 2 days later to go to his studio, when we went and had that thing, we were like, Aki, we are jokers. Because Clemo had sufficient that track.
You guys, let me shock you. You also went to Musyoka.
Yes.
When I interviewed the CTA,
Yes, we went to Musyoka.
He played me
the version that he had done.
Here's what Clemo Musyoka played.
Yes.
He gets everything.
You have my version of the song.
I can throw you an idea you have.
Artist Motorola, yeah. Pro Tools. In fact, I have the Pro Tools session. Yeah, complete with vocals and everything. The acapellas.
Mekuwa bad boy ever since standard 2 kuchapa watu hii mateke.
Yeah, so this was my version of this project. It was called Urban Massive.
Hey, God, go to the bounce.
So that was my version of the song.
He played me. That means you guys must have said, let's also try this.
Yes, I'm trying to remember who else we tried. There must have been someone else we tried. I'd forgotten about that by the way. Wow.
So now Clemo alimaliza.
Clemo sufficient that track. Because I think, now that you say it, I think we had 3 tracks to choose from, 3 or 4. But when we had what Clemo had done,
like that day,
it was done.
Na gnaja tu atiwe kukua na mita kuwa blanda juu mekuwa bad boy ever since standard 2 kuchapa watu hii mateke hadi na ganda mguu lakini ajui ya mfaidi akikuambia mini roughneck bad boy ndo unanipenda zaidi kila roho yako imechagua ishachagua na hiyo ni kitu nikoshua hata yeye mwenye anajua ni Shinski baby una smell fresh kama lavender na cherry sinikuite Mariah jo vile umecarry ring kwenye belly na smile ya Halle Berry matake yani like since ni cheki kwa teli jumi wanga juu ya maji jo kama ferry ni wanga magushi na sedusa hata medusa na gusa kibusa anapata magusba 9 inches kwa boxers abas baby yeah. Getting critical, intellectual and physical. Nipe nafasi, nipe hii interval. Nikuoneshe loving is unbeatable. Now ambie, wasintafie. Tuende nyumbani baby tusinzie. Nikupe detu ima kwa kalenda. Nikupe agenda kupenda bogi benda. Nimetia bidii bana sinikubali. Ukinikatana.
Now video.
So now video, Mac Moss. You know Mac Moss?
That is, you've taken me back.